Congratulations. This film was great. I never thought I'd actually tear up watching a film, but I have to admit I did. This first question is for Lil Rel. I love Jordan, and I feel like I connected with him the most because he was that supportive friend that Matt really needed. For you, what did Jordan represent to Matt, and what did he have to do for Matt, and was he able to accomplish that?
First of all, I appreciate you remembering the character's name because I forgot because I was doing something. No, no
It's been 2 years. It has been 2 years.
yeah, Jordan, that was his name. No, something, it felt good bonding, once again, just showing friendship, like legit friendships. And between men, right? This is like a sensitive situation. We don't see a lot of that in a lot of films, especially honestly among Black men. So it was really cool to like show that friendship and like be there for Matt. And Jordan, like I remember talking to the real life Matt, and he was just saying that like I represented like all of his friends that supported him in real life,
Yeah.
at the time. So it was real cool. And then just playing off Kevin was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like we had so much fun. Paul's an amazing director where he was very open to like, because sometimes, you meet some directors like, hey man, look, this is what I wrote, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I have really great creative conversations. And I appreciate that too. So I was able to add my own flavor into the character and into this amazing story.
That's amazing. Now, DeWanda, one of the most hardest things for a single parent to do is introduce their kid to a potential relationship. There's a lot of things that you have to deal with. For Swan, what do you think the hardest thing for her was, and in order for her to get involved with Matt?
Yeah, I think just that. Paul and I early on had, there were two central conversations. There was the conversation about how true it had to be that Lizzie said and meant, like, I'm good on my own. So that was one. And that was like, part of why I, DeWanda, am here and was cast
Yeah.
as the strong, independent woman I am. And the other part was that the chemistry between Swan and Maddie was like actually more important than the chemistry between Swan and Matt, because Maddie's his world, and when you're dating someone, you're entering into their life and they have a family, like they're a small family unit, being a part of her life and kind of like, being open and learning how to like be a part of her life, not just like injecting or immediately trying to like, fulfill the role of mother, but just getting to know who Maddie is as the little autonomous, precocious, brilliant, confident, child that both the actress and the character is in this movie. That was just so important. And it was a lot of fun,
Yeah, definitely.
Melody's brilliant.
Now, this question could be for either of you. Looking into the actual story, what one thing stood out to you that made it, immediately, clear that you had to be a part of the project?
You want to go first?
I always go off the script. My process is very simple. I'm like, it's hard for me when they're like, there's no script. I'm like, I don't know what I'm attaching to.
Yeah.
And if I'm reading something and I read the script and cried, like I read the script, I appreciated that Paul clearly, did some revisions to like write it for Kevin in a sense, kind of like in his voice more. And also, when I met with Paul, and to Rel's point, he was just like, I said, I have a sliding scale of nerdiness. If you want to be involved in my process, I can, keep you up to date and da 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 da. But if if that's not your thing, then I show up on the day. And he was like, I like to be surprised. And he said it and he meant it. And we had a lot of freedom, you know what I mean? To like really bring what we wanted to and needed to bring to these roles. And you don't get that often.
No, you really don't. I mean, that's one of the things like, I, for one thing, to me, it was just the story in general. Once again, I'm a dad, right? And I just love seeing dad's story. Like one of my favorite movies is the Father of the Bride movies, you know what I'm saying? And like it was like I remember watching it when I was young and it was just funny to me because I love Steve Martin. Then like watching it on a plane recently and actually like so like to make one of those movies, oh, it was just like I'm in.